Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Dramani Online Mathematics. If you know you have not subscribed, please subscribe and share to your colleagues. Okay, we are now still under the ratio. We have looked at what a proportion is. We have looked at what a ratio is. Some examples of ratio, some examples of proportion. We are now looking at direct proportion. In fact, we have direct proportion and indirect proportion. These are the two main types of proportion. So you are going to look at the direct proportion first. So for the direct proportion, involves comparison of two quantities such that, so the quantity here must be 2, so plural, two quantities such that an increase in one quantity causes an increase in the other quantity. The typical example of this is when there is an increase of fuel prices, there will be an increase in what commodity, there will be an increase in what lorry fares and stuff. So an increase in one will force the other to what also be increased. Is that okay? So let's look at some example, and vice versa. When the other is decreasing, the other have to also what decrease. Is that okay? Now I can also give you some simple example, like you have 10 pence for 2 cedis. If 10 pence costs 2 cedis, it means that an increase of the pen, then the amount was what increased, and then the decrease of the number of pens, the amount was what decreases. So that is the meaning of the direct proportion. So we have an example. The cost of 3 crates of X is 21 Ghana cedis. So if you have 3 crates of X, it costs 21 Ghana cedis. How much will you pay for 6 crates of X? Is that okay? How much are you going to pay for 6 crates of what X? So that is what we mean by this. So let's see how we solve them. Now, before I will start this, I want to tell you this. Sorry, okay. I want to tell you this. When we were doing the ratio, I told you that you compare ratios or things that are similar. So in this case, we have crates here, then we have money. So you cannot compare this crate to the money in terms of ratio. We have to compare this crate, and there's no way that you can convert this crate towards money. You can do that, but it's important that we have crates, and we have to find for the amounts. So we can compare this crate by this crate, then amount by amount. That's what I'm trying to say. So here, what I'm going to do first is that you have to find how much will you pay for 6 crates. So you can see that let X represent the amount to be paid for 6 crates. So you can see that let X represents the amount to be paid for 6 what crate. Okay, so that's what you are going to do first. Now first, let's look at the ratio of crates of X. Okay, so the ratio of crates of X is going to be 3 is to what 6, because this is crate of egg, this is also crate of egg, this one should come first. So 3 6, so you're going to have 3 is to what 6. Is that okay? You also look at the ratio of the amounts. So for the ratio of the amount, you're going to have 21 is to X. Is that okay? 21 is what X. So this is how we establish our ratio. I've already informed you that we compare two things that are what similar. So crate are similar, amount is similar. Where are we getting the X? This X is the amount you are going to spend on 6 crates. The 21 is the amount you spend on what 3 crates. So in this case, by proportion, we can say that 3 is to 6 is equivalent or equals to 21 is what X. So you know how to solve it. 3 over what 6 equals 21 over what 6. I can break this one down. 3 go into itself 1, go into 6 2. So you can have 1 over 2 equals 21 over what x. And I told you that something like this, you do simple what cross multiplication. X times 1 is x. 21 times, 2 times 21 is 40 what 2. Therefore, the amount to be paid for 6 crates of x is 42 Ghana what cedis. Is that okay? It's 42 Ghana cedis. So that's how we go about it. Is that okay? Okay. The second example. If the weight of 17 bags of rice is 680 kg, what is the weight of 7 bags? Okay. So first thing, let's a particular variable. I'm using y. So let y represents the weight of 7 bags of rice. Okay. So first you need to look for the ratio of the weight of what of the bags, rice bags. Now the ratio is going to be 680 kg. Okay, it's here 680 kg against what y. So we have 680 kg is to what y kg. Then you also look at the ratio of bags of rice, and that one is going to be 17 against what 7. 17 against 7. So by definition of proportion, we can have 680 is to y equals 17 is to what 7. So this gives you 680 over y equals 17 over 7. Y times 17 is 17y equals 7 times 80. That's a 680 times what 7. Is that okay? So if you multiply this, let me use calculator. I can't waste my time there. You have 44760. Now you divide here by 17, here by 17. So my y is going to be, use a calculator, 280 kg. So 17 can go into 4 times 160 by 280 kg. Therefore, the weight of 17 bags of rice will be 208. 7 bags of rice will be 280 kg. And this makes sense because the weight of 17 bags was 680 kg. And the weight of 7 bags is 280 kg, which makes sense. Because when you decrease, you have to be decreasing. This is direct. Okay. Now let's look at the third example, and maybe I'll leave the last example for you to do. Is that okay? Okay, let's look at the second example. At Mr. Opoku's shop, 3 wrist watches are sold for Ghana 100 cedis. How many watches can you purchase with 600 Ghana cedis? So the amount has been given. For 3 wrist watches, when you sell it, you get 100 cedis. So how much will you sell to get 600 cedis? This is very simple question. So let's see how you can go about this. So first, you say that let W represents the number of what wrist watches. Okay, so ratio of amount of wristwatch will be equals to, so you want to look at the amount is 100 is towards 600. You have 100 is towards 600. Is that okay? Then you also look at the ratio of number of what wristwatch, and that is going to be 3 is to what W. I'm using W to represent the other one. So by definition of proportion, you can say that 100 is to 600 equals to 3 is what W. So 100 over 600 equals 3 over W. 0 goes with 0, 0 goes with 0. We have 1 over 6 equals 3 over W. So our W will be 6 times 3. So our W will be 9 wrist watch. Watch is okay. So if you spend 600 cedis, you get 9. If you spend 100 cedis, you get 3. Simple like ABCD. Now, as I said, we should try the last example, which says that if 120 kilometers trip requires 8 gallons of petrol, how many gallons of petrol is needed, or is needed? Yeah, is needed for X 600 kilometers trip. It is supposed to be there for 600 kilometers trip. So please try your hands on this.